Meet Aaron. In just the past 9 months, he's been able to go from zero to over $180,000 a month in sales with Amazon FBA as a complete beginner. We're going to go through how he got started, how he got into selling on Amazon, making his first sales, selling over $100,000 in just his fourth month, Q4 tips, and everything in between. Let's get right into it. What's up? We got the man Aaron, 0-day handling time, joining us today. What are your trailing 30 days on Amazon, Aaron?
The trailing 30 right now, it's 181, 182, right
Boom.
around there.
So well over 20,000 in profit, right?
Mhm.
From remotely, because you're in Thailand right now, right?
I did recently just get to Thailand.
Boom.
Yes,
So
I did.
super gangster, right? Running the remote, online arbitrage business. Very aspirational for a lot of people watching this. Where were you at, just a year ago? I know you weren't even selling on Amazon yet, but like just what was going on in your life basically, prior to getting going to the stuff?
I had a job, 9 to 5. I was working every day.
Boom.
But 1 year ago, I was just moving furniture on military bases.
Yep. And so conveniently, you also had some, good traveling experience. You had seen different ways of life. You're starting to look into making money online, as most people are as well. Talk through those first couple months, man, because didn't you do over 100K in revenue just in December alone, which was like your fourth month, your third full month or something?
Yeah, it was my third full month. So initially, Amazon just started as a side hustle. Like in between my work jobs for my 9 to 5, I would have time at home. So during my time at home, I was like, I'm not working. Let me try to make some money online. So from all the different online businesses, I chose Amazon FBA. And, my first month was like 7K watching your content. I was a ghost account on Twitter. Second month, I posted the video, started talking to Parker, started really engaging with the community, and I doubled from the first month. The third month, I joined your coaching, the great community inside there. And I met some people that helped me elevate my business, more sourcing websites, brands, whatever. And after 3 months of, talking to people, testing products out, seeing what works, what doesn't work, in December, my fourth month, I was able to do 100K.
Boom,
So
which is beautiful, which is, over 20,000 bucks profit, because during back to school in Q4, profit margins tend to go up a little bit too. And I
yeah,
think so it's, a really good testament to sticking around for a little while though, right? Because like most people try this for a month or two, really don't even give themselves time to get lucky, time to experiment or anything like that. And pretty much no one gets immediate results. But a lot of people that stick around for the long term do. And that's why that mindset's, so important, man. So what does it feel like, right? To have completely, done like a 180, right? Gone from, not really making money in an ideal way, at least based on, what you've said, to now being able to travel, being able to do what you want, and having, a good online business that you worked super hard and, super deserve.
yeah. So really what it feels like right now, I have more motivation to keep going
Yeah, put the foot on the gas.
then whenever I started. Like when I started with Amazon, I was like, oh, it's just a side hustle. Like I'll do it here, internet money. You know, I'll do it when I do it. But now I'm like this is really real. Like I do DM setting too. Recently, it's been taking a fair amount of my time, but that's also something that I would not have found if I didn't engage within the Amazon community. So getting in with the Amazon community has opened more doors for me.
I was literally going to bring up that point about like doors opening and how like, you get into this, like, man, maybe I can make a little bit of money on the side, but then you start digging in a little bit, right? You start building a little
Yeah.
expertise, right? And that like, that's probably similar to how like, a lot of professional athletes or people who really got really into other stuff, you just try it out. You click with enough stuff, and then eventually something ends up being very successful, right?
Yeah.
So talk about in those first couple months, man, like what really kept you going? What helped you find that initial momentum? Because I think that's what a lot of people are looking for, is those couple little moments where 20 of one product sells in a day, or just a couple of something sells in the first couple hours. Like what kept you going, and what was the real moment where you're like, damn, man, I can do this stuff?
And one thing that did keep me going was definitely the community, because even whenever I was small, like a few $1,000s like a week, like even if I only had 5 FBM packages, you could scroll back on my media and you could see I'm posting these FBM this on my way to the post office, and just the engagement, people like Parker. I mentioned Parker because me and him, like, Now we talk every day, like we make money together. But in the beginning, he was just some random person that was just giving me tips. We was helping each other out.
And it's interesting because technically everyone starts out as just some random person, right?
Yeah.
Even in real life, you know what I mean? You meet people, you vibe, right? But you just have so many more shots on goal when you're giving yourself a chance to get lucky meeting people on the internet too, which is conveniently free as well, right? So for the person who like is like, all right, man, like I know I need to do this. I know it's going to be more helpful if I meet some people online. I just don't really know what to do, right? What was your best piece of advice in terms of getting started with the community and networking?
Okay. So the obvious one is, posting. Um, Videos is super helpful, but a lot of people don't want to do that. But if you can do like pictures, at least posting regularly, people will know you're active. You're trying to make a change. You're trying to get groups, source products, whatever. But in terms of actually meeting people, I used to slide into a lot of DMs back in the day, and it would always be one of two things. Like I would slide in the DM with a compliment, like something I see them post is like, hey, any type of compliment. So compliment, and the other thing would be advice. So if I see they're struggling with something, if I see I can maybe help out, we can help each other out. Those two things is a super organic and natural way to meet people in the internet.
Boom.
And
Bingo.
yeah,
Right there. And it's as simple as that, right? And most people aren't even doing anything, right? So, you get the ball rolling, then you figure stuff out. It's the same thing with selling on Amazon. If you're looking for direct help scaling up your Amazon business, I have something for you. With back to school and Q4 right around the corner, now's the great time to apply for my one-on-one coaching program. If you're looking for direct, one-on-one, unparalleled access to me, all my coupons, tips, tricks, and strategies, 3 group coaching calls a week, a one-on-one live sourcing call with myself, and a ton of other additional content, and the exact same assistance Aaron got on his journey. I'm going to leave a link down below in the description to my coaching program. If you're interested in working directly with me, you can apply, see some other folks that we've helped as well. So check that out if you're interested. Back into the video with Aaron. So specifically on the product research side of things these days, are you doing wholesale as well, predominantly online arbitrage? What's the current business setup?
I tapped into a little bit of wholesale earlier this year. And in terms of the cash flow and the lead time and the cash intensivity, I think I just created that word. It's very cash intensive.
Yeah.
Cash intensive. So for the rest of this year, I'm going to grind out OA, keep, turning that cash over. The profit margin's better. There's less lead time. The cash flow's better. So for the rest of this year, we're just grinding out OA.
Yeah, and the nice thing is like, a lot of people that don't really do any type of volume with OA will tell me that OA isn't scalable, right? And then you see like my biggest month was 480. It looks like your biggest trailing 30 days probably what the 180 right now, and just
Yeah.
getting into back to school, so it's going to be, significantly better than that. And so talk through what it looks like to run the Amazon business remotely, because a lot of people kind of fantasize over that, but they don't know what it actually looks like day to day. What's a prep center like? Break down how you're able to run the operation from another country, even though you've lived in the States for most of your life.
Yeah. So first thing is first. First thing is first. It is not passive income. but
Far from it.
but
Far from it.
yeah, far from it. And really nothing is. But so I just recently actually got a VA. I was already traveling for about a month before I got my first VA, but I just got one, splitting it with a friend. I've been talking to people like Deke, Max,
Oh, that are awesome with that.
and
Yeah, that makes
yeah, and I'm trying to get like what's really the best way I can make them use of their time.
Yep.
So I got a lot of missing shipments right now. They're going through right now, getting that sorted away. But I also just recently got a sourcing VA. I know what people are going to think. Oh, like you don't want to source, you're lazy, whatever. The sourcing VA, I just split with a different person because we're going to try something out. Like they're going to be sourcing their own, brands, products, categories with our requirements. And I just want to see, what brands they bring, what products, what websites, and see if they can open my mind to anything that I am not seeing. So I figure if they can at least make their money back, especially if they're making me money, I think it's a W because it's going to open my mind to new products, new brands. Um, so I have the admin VA, I have the sourcing VA, and am with a prep center. So that was a very big step in me scaling.
Yeah, how does that actually work though? Because a lot of people won't be familiar with the prep center model.
Okay, if you start anything like me, like you're all FBM. Like my first 25K sales was all FBM. So, it's cool. The profit's good, profit's a little better, but it takes way more time. And one, you have to actually be there, so you can't do it remote.
Yep.
But with the prep center, basically all the stuff you would send to your house, you just send it to the prep center and log it into your sheet. They receive it. Yes, we got it. No, we didn't. And they send it off. Getting a prep center in the beginning, it's kind of like overwhelming, especially when you're new to it. But once, it's just like anything. It's like riding a bike, like after a while, it just becomes second nature. And the prep center played a really big role in me personally being able to scale. And the one thing I will add is I was in a tax state, 7%. So it made sense for me to go ahead and get that. But if you're in Oregon or, Delaware, if you're willing to put in the work, you can make extra profit not getting a prep center.
Profit with that. Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of people kind of see mature Amazon businesses like yours is these days with lots of good delegation. But when you start, man, it was totally this way for me. You're waking up and you're finding stuff you can merch fulfill, right? And that's it. You're fulfilling every order yourself, right? And that lets you move hella quick though, right? It's like, what was really attractive and why'd you do so much FBM and why'd you even adopt, the username that is very
Yeah.
FBM?
Yeah. Look, one thing I'll add to is like a lot of the people, look, I've no way made it like at all. Some people, they might see it on the outside looking in. They think I'm like successful or whatever. I'm like really good at sourcing. It's really not the truth. Like I started out just like a regular person. Like I was in a Nike outlet on the regular. I was driving to all these places, scanning the Nike outlet. Like I wasn't even really doing OA. I was just like scanning the Nike outlet. And Parker too. Parker, he started in Walmart scanning the clearance section. You know what I mean? Like I think it's a natural way for the Amazon seller to mature is to kind of start out with like RA, testing stuff here, FBM this, and then the more knowledge you compound and the more people you talk with, it just opens your mind to different OA ways to make money.
Yeah, and it's also significantly easier to understand. There's less fancy couponing involved, right? And it lets you get stuff in hand same day too. Same thing with merch field, it lets you get stuff listed so much quicker, right?
Yeah.
And so speaking about things that open your mind, fourth quarter, right? So you had a massive fourth quarter. This is interestingly enough, this is your first back to school, right? But talk about taking advantage of those seasonal opportunities, man, because this is coming up, only your second big seasonal opportunity. It's a lot of people that are watching this, their first time rolling around. They want to be prepared for back to school. They want to be prepared for Q4. Talk through, what that's really like and what you learned from your first Q4.
What I learned from my first Q4 was, and there's a lot of mixed emotions on this. Some people say networking is more important. Some people say sourcing is more important. Everything, like the truth is, everything works for different people. But for me personally, my first Q4, networking was way more important because of those seasonal items. And if you can find a group of guys, everyone's looking different directions, different websites for this seasonal item. That's like 4 eyes versus just you. So you find a lot of products quicker. Stuff you would have never even bought, you find yourself buying because of the network.
Yep.
So I'm going to be doing the same here for back to school. I already have a decent amount of inventory for back to school. It's going to be heavy seasonal items. I'm in the lab, if you will, with the boys, trying to divinate the future. And I'm gonna have a record month this back to school for sure. And another thing too is the keeper charts. They do not lie.
They do not lie, bro.
I would.
Women lie.
I would. Facts. Like I wouldn't 100% like be like, okay, that's gonna happen this year. But if it's a seasonal item and it's done the same thing multiple years in a row, and it's something you and a few guys have conviction on, the keep it chart just don't lie.
Yeah, test it
So
out light, man. Hop in there, FBM, right? FBM lets you restock really quick too. And you just want to build that proof of concept, be able to take advantage of future seasonal opportunities too, because this is something you'll be doing for multiple years, if you're getting going with the stuff. So you want to build a nice base, proof of concept, etc. As we finish up here, if you could go back a year ago and talk to old Aaron, who was not yet the 0-day handling time on Twitter, who didn't already, wasn't, pumping already, what are you telling him?
I would tell them this is not a get rich quick scheme. It's not gonna happen overnight. But if you have even a little brain and you are willing to put in the work, not only sourcing, but also networking, give yourself a year, actually grinding for a year. And I guarantee you, if you're networking, you're sourcing, you got a positive mindset, and the mindset's huge. Like if you can't believe you can't do it, like you've already lost.
If you can't believe you can't do it, I completely agree. Yeah.
But the main thing is engage with the community and actually put in the work. Actually put in the work. Because if you don't, you can't want 100K a month and then act like someone who only does 20K months, not sourcing, not talking to people. So honestly, just engage with the community. It's cliche, super cliche.
But no one does
But
it, man.
it compounds. Look, this shit is like interest rates. This shit, like the network, learning what websites, seasonal items, learning Amazon. This shit is like interest rates. Like it compounds. Day by day, it can be discouraging. You don't feel like you're getting anywhere.
Because you suck at this stuff when you start. Yeah, you're terrible at selling on Amazon when you start.
So you give yourself a week. You're like, damn, I haven't got anywhere.
Yep.
But it compounds. It's interest rates. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the line, that interest has accrued.
Yep. And then so where can people follow you on social media if they want to catch up and see more of your documenting your journey, your travels, some banter here and there?
Yeah. So check me out. Twitter, 0-day handle time. Instagram, 0-day handle time. Yeah, feel free to hit me up. The community is honestly one of the best.
If y'all get any ungating questions, you send it to this man right there. Send over the ungating questions right there. Appreciate you coming on once again, Aaron. Keep up the great work, and thanks everyone for listening. Hope this video was helpful, guys. If you have any questions, let me know down below. Make sure you follow Aaron on socials. And if you're interested in working directly with me, coaching program application link is down below as well. See you guys in the next one.